Hello students, today we are going to study a new chapter in economics, chapter 3a, demand analysis. In this chapter, we will study about the different aspects which makes a person to purchase a particular commodity. So in the last chapter, we studied about the utility. We have already studied the concept of utility in previous chapter. Utility is the basis of demand. Utility may generate a desire or need to have a particular commodity, but utility on its own cannot generate demand for a commodity. So in this chapter, we will study about the different aspects and things need for fulfilling the demand. For that, we will study about the meaning of demand. In the meaning of demand, we are going to discuss about the desire thing which comes first. For purchasing any product, we must have a desire. And what is desire means? It is the urge to have something. In economics, demand means it is a desire which is backed by willingness and ability to pay. Demand is effective desire. All desire are not demand. So we have to keep in mind that when the matter demand comes, what we have to keep in mind? Three things that. Which are the three things? The desire plus willingness plus ability to pay. These are the three things that we have to keep in mind while we consider about the demand. Now we are going to discuss about the definition of demand. According to Benham, the demand for anything at a given price is the amount of it which will be bought per unit of time at that price. So anything what we demand, it is related to what? It is related to price and time. So the features of demand itself, we can say that it is a relative concept and it is referred to time and the price. So thus the meaning of demand and definition of demand is in this way. Thus you have to keep in mind that. Now it comes the demand schedule. Demand schedule means what it is? It is a tabular representation of functional relationship between price and quantity demanded for a particular commodity. So the demand schedule is a tabular representation, is a table. What is given in the table? The relationship between what? The quantity demanded and the price. The price and the quantity demanded. We can say in proper sense it is the price and accordingly what quantity is demanded. That is mentioned in the demand schedule. In demand schedule and demand, according to demand schedule derives the demand curve. There are two types of demand schedule, that is individual demand and market demand. In this slide, we are seeing that individual demand. What is individual demand? Individual demand is the quantity of commodity demanded by a consumer at a given price during a given period of time. Individual demand schedule, it is a tabular representation and it is the demand of a consumer, a particular consumer. So for that you have to see that you can explain the individual demand schedule in this way. In the following schedule, it is means price and quantity demanded is given. When the price is 10, the quantity demanded is 1, and the price when it falls to 2, the quantity demanded increases to 5. This shows that the relation between the price and quantity demanded is inverse relationship. There is a opposite relationship between the price. When the price go high, what happens? The quantity demanded diminish, become less, and the price falls, the quantity demanded increases. In this way, demand curve is there. When you define individual demand curve, you can write individual demand curve is a graphical representation of individual demand schedule. According to the demand schedule, the individual demand curve is drawn. So you can see in the y-axis what is given? Price. In the slide you can see it is not shown, but it is under the price is in the y-axis and the quantity demanded comes in the x-axis. So you just note that when the price is 10, the quantity demanded was 1 and the price fall, what happens? The quantity demanded also increases. Thus, the relation it is shown in this slide. Got it? Now we are going to discuss about the market demand schedule. What is market demand? Market demand is the total demand for a commodity from all the consumers at a given price during a given period of time. So this definition you have to learn what is a market demand. Market demand schedule is a tabular same. Like the individual demand, you can say it is a tabular representation showing different quantities of commodity which all the consumers are purchase or consumers are prepared to buy at a various prices over a given period of time. So it is obtained horizontal summation of the demand of all the consumers. You can see in the slide given that the price of the commodity, quantity demanded by consumer A, B, C, and the last in the schedule there is a market demand A, B, C, total market demand it is there. So it is given in the last column. Accordingly, you can see the demand curve, market demand curve, the same as the individual demand curve, but we have to consider it in this market demand there are many more consumers. So each consumer have the desire, all the consumers will purchase in the particular manner. So in this we are going to, we study that consumer A, consumer B and consumer C, how they purchase the things. When the price was 10, the quantity demanded by consumer A was 5 kgs, then B it was 10 and C 15. But while the price increases, you can see they consumes less. While the price rises, they consume less, and while the price falls, they consume more. So the demand curve slopes from which part? The left to right. Demand curve slopes from left to right. Now it is given in the slide that the reason justifying the downward sloping of demand curve, law of diminishing marginal utility, income effect, substitution effect, multi-purpose users, new consumers. So why does this demand curve slopes means sloping? Because of this all, law of diminishing marginal utility we studied in the last chapter. In the law of diminishing marginal utility we studied that what using of more and more of one particular thing will diminishes the utility. So like that the demand will be less first. An income effect, when the income increases or like that the people stays like everything will be changed. So just you go through this, you have to keep in mind the demand schedule, you have to study it properly. Now which are the types of demand that we are going to study? Types of demand means there are different types of demand. Which are the different types of demand? 5 types of demand are given there. Which are the 5 types of demand? First, direct demand, indirect demand. Indirect demand is also mentioned as derived demand, complementary demand, joint demand, composite demand, competitive demand. These are the 5 types of demand. Direct demand. What is direct demand? It is the demand by the consumer in for goods which satisfy their wants directly. They purchase the thing for direct consumption. Example is given. Example what is given? The demand for clothes, demand for sugar, etc. Means the things we purchase and use it directly. So it is very easy when you discuss about the direct demand. The direct demand means what it is? The goods which are purchased for direct use. Means all the packed foods or all the packed things, ready-made garments, everything is for direct demand. So we no need to process it or no need to again refine it or like that. It is, we can use it directly. So it is said to be direct demand. Now indirect demand or derived demand. Derived means because of something we need it. Indirectly we are purchasing. It refers to the demand for goods which are needed for the further production. directly we are not using it. For the production, it is the demand for producer's good. So direct demand means, always when you hear the direct demand, you have to keep in the mind it is a producer good, and all factors of production have indirect. This thing you have to notice that all the factors of production are indirect or derived demand. Example what it is given: demand for workers in a sugar factory is derived or indirect demand, because in the sugar factory or any factory, particular example it is given for the sugar factory, but for any factory the demand, why the demand arises? Demand arises for the further production, or due to for the production only it is essential. Got it? Now next it is complementary or joint demand. Now what is when two or more commodities are demanded jointly? We said it is a complementary. Complements. It is demanded jointly. Example, it is given car and the fuel. So we can say there are many things which are jointly demanded. Okay. Now we for the example, this car and the fuel. If you purchase car, if you don't have petrol, what happens? The car will be on your car shed only. We can't drive the car without the petrol. So many things are around us. Just notice it. So when you write the types of demand, when you write the complementary demand, you have said that the demand which is fulfilled jointly means that is two things, more than two things also can come. So many things around us daily need, which is that. We have to understand that. Why we have to understand that? Because these are the particular types of demand, and we know all these aspects before only we do purchase many things. So we are aware about it. But in this chapter, when we are going to study the law of demand, we must understand this systematically. We have to arrange all these things, and we have to keep in the mind, because we are studying and we are going to put forth in the behavior of a consumer. So we have to study it. The fourth, it is composite demand. Composite, in the demand for a commodity which can put to several different uses. One product if we purchase, we can use it many way. Mostly what happened today multi-purpose uses are very, things are very demanded. If you take a nail cutter, if you purchase a nail cutter, what is nail cutter? You can cut the nail, clear it, you can cut also, you can open a bottle, means many things are there in a small nail cutter. So there are multiples, means that is that composite, more than one uses it is there. Here the example it is given for electricity. So electricities are put to use in many things. In what all things it is used? Means in the house, if we see that, we can see to running fan, light, for running mobile, for charging the mobile, washing machine, then mixer, grinder, in the household needs, many things are there. So electricity is of many use. So it is composite demand. Now competitive demand means it is the demand for goods such as a substitute for each other. Competition is there between that. Now tea and coffee means if the price of the tea is high, we can purchase coffee or sugar or jaggery. It is competition. Means for the sweetness, man can use sugar also, and even also jaggery. So 5 types of demand we studied today. That is direct demand, indirect demand. Indirect demand is also known as derived demand, then complementary demand, composite demand, and competitive demand. Now we are going to discuss in this slide, we are going to part 1, we will discuss about the determinants of demand also. What are the different determinants of demand? We studied about the demand, meaning of demand, concept, the definition of demand, demand schedule, individual demand curve, individual demand schedule, market demand schedule, market demand curve. We studied about the types of demand, and now we are going to discuss about the determinants. What factors determine the demand for a particular commodity? There are 11 factors given. You can see in the slides: price, income, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods, nature of products, size of population, expectations about the future price, advertisement, taste, habit and fashion, level of taxation. These are the 10, and the 11th it is other factors. The factor that determines demand, which are there: the climatic condition, changes in technology, government policies, customs and tradition. So these are the 11 determinants of demand. Now price. Price determines the demand for a commodity to large extent. Consumers prefer to purchase a product at large quantities when the price of the product is less, and they purchase a product in a small quantities when the price is high. So small quantity only is purchased at a high price, and more quantities are purchased, more things are purchased for a what? Lower price. So more and less. So more is purchased at lower price and less is purchased at higher price. So the relation between, we are not discussing about the relation, we are discussing about the determinants. So demand, who determines the demand? The price. How it determines? When the price is high, the demand is less. The price is less, demand is more. This. Next comes the income. Income of a consumer decides the purchasing power, which is in turn influencing the demand for a product. Rise in income will lead to rise in demand, and income will fall. What will happen? This we know it better. When you get means a pocket money, you are the students, you get a more pocket money, and one day your father said, okay, this period is not good and I am not getting that much of money, so I am going to reduce your pocket money. Now what happens? Your income decreases. So what you will think, why I can't purchase much more things because my income is less, I am getting less money. So this matters for everybody. So determinants of the second determinant demand, it is income. The third determinant, price of the substitutes. If a substitute goods is available at lower price, the people will demand cheaper substitute goods than costly one. For example, if the price of sugar rises, in the textbook it is given the price of sugar rises, what will the people prefer? Jaggery. So they will think this much sugar we will not use, jaggery is better. If the cost of jaggery is less, we will purchase it. So these are many substitute goods. The pulses, if the price of pulses increases, different pulses are there. You can vegetables they use. If the price of the onion increases, what they reduce it. And for that substitute, what is the substitute of onion? Nothing is there. And potato, there are different roots they can purchase and eat. So like that, there is substitute goods matters for the demand. The fourth, it is price of the complementary goods. We studied about the types of demand. What are complementary goods? The demand means which are demanded together jointly, that is complementary goods. So changes in the price of one commodity also affects the demand for the other commodity. For example, car and fuel. If the price of fuel rises, the demand of car will fall. Means petrol price rise, and we will no, if we purchase the car, what will happen? We have to spend a lot of money for the petrol, so no need. Like that, many things are there. If particular one commodity you purchase and the its price increases, the other will determine. Nature of the product. In nature of the product, if a commodity is necessity and use is unavoidable, then its demand will continue to be the same. For example, it is given medicine to control blood pressure. Even if the price rise, it will not affect. These are the things. The nature means it is an essential thing, so we have to demand it. So determinants of demand we are studying about. We studied about the price, first determinant, second income, price of the substitute, price of complementary goods, nature of product. If according to the nature of product, the demand will increase or decrease. Sixth one, it is size of population. Automatically we know when the population increases, demand will also increases. If there are 2 persons in your house and if 5 persons more come, automatically you will go and purchase much more things for the means essentiality, according to the essentiality of the people who are coming. If you have to prepare food, you will purchase more thing. If you have to more vegetables, more rice, more wheat, all these things you purchase. Why? Because the size of the population increases. Seventh, expectation about the future. This indicates that when the consumer expects that future the price will fall or rise, there is a change in the prices, then the demand also will changes accordingly. The eighth one, it is advertisement. Advertisement, sale promotion schemes and effective salesmanship tends to change the preference of the consumer and leads to demand for the product. For example, cosmetic toothbrush, it is automatically seen that when advertisement is there, that particular product, people had developed a mentality that, oh, I didn't see this product anywhere, oh, it is good or what. So when the advertisement come, they believe that, okay, I saw this product somewhere and there are many aspects which is related to this product, so I can purchase this product easily. So advertisement affects a lot for the demand. The other thing, taste, habits and fashion. Taste and habits of the consumer simply in demand influences the demand for a commodity. If a consumer like particular thing, what will happen? He, even though the price is high or whatever things happen, that he will think that I have to purchase it. Chocolates or many other things are there. We can means taste according to that. The taste is there. Means if somebody like to drink coffee only, somebody like to drink tea only, they will not leave it. The consumers demands that particular types of commodity. If the commodity goes out of the fashion, then suddenly the demand for that product also diminishes, means it goes out. Even habits are there, that they used to use that for a long time. I am using this particular brand, so I want this only. Fashions changes many times. You can no need to mention many more of it, because fashion changes, the use also change, the demand also change. If you means if 50 years before dress, if it is given you to wear it, or if your parents purchase and give you, what you will say, oh, I will not wear this because it is old fashioned. How can I wear this and go? Because the fashion has changed. So that matters, that the determinants of demand, the taste matters, habit matters, fashion matters. So it is a great factor which means affects the demand, particularly in the coming. So these all things are helpful for you to how to demand the consumer behavior. It is helpful for the producer, how the consumer demand all the things. Level of taxation also influences. How does the level of taxation influences? When the tax is more, what will happen? The price of particular commodity rises, and when the tax increases, people automatically, you can see when GST came, that for the packed materials the tax was there and that much, so people began to see this high tax I am paying for particular product, so mostly I will not purchase because the tax is level of tax. The tax influence a great deal in the level of tax demand. So the other factors, which is climatic conditions, change in the technology, government policies in taxation we discussed. So that are the different policies of the government. Then customs and tradition. Now climate conditions, no need to describe that much. You have to just write other factors: climate conditions, change in technology, government policies, and customs and tradition. Climate conditions means when the rainy season is there, and it is not raining, people will not purchase umbrella. They will think that, oh, it is not raining. But you continuous 3 days, if it is raining, it makes the people to purchase the umbrella. Okay, it is very essential, or raincoat, I am not able to go out, I want a raincoat because next year also I can use it. So different things. So we go and demand a particular product. Why? Because of change in the climate conditions. That matters for the woolen clothes, cotton clothes, and many other things are there. Changes in technology also affect the demand. What changes in technology means? Means if it is produced more, the technology changes, the machine produced, so the demand also there will changes. Government policies and customs and tradition means due to the customs, some of the festivals are there, some of the traditions are there, even the price is high or low, it doesn't matter, but custom it is there, you have to purchase it, you have to use it. So these are the things which affects the demand. So students, the determinants of demand, we have gone through 11 points mainly, that price, income, price of the substitutes, price of the complementary goods, nature of product, size of population, expectation about the future price, advertisement, taste, habit and fashion, level of taxation, other factors. So in the part 1, I am going to conclude the part 1 here, because next part it is about the law of demand. So if we go all together, means it will create a difficulty for you. So just keep in your mind the lesson started with the introduction or the meaning of demand. In the meaning of demand, we discuss about the desire, and particularly mainly what the matters, demand plus demand is equal to desire plus willingness to pay and ability to buy. These are the things which. Then we studied about the definition given there. Then the demand, that is individual demand, market demand, and the schedule and the curve, demand curve. You studied about the types of demand and determinants of demand. So go through all this. While I am teaching, just take the textbook, keep open in front of you. If you have any difficulty, you just note it and keep it. So just it will be able, it will help you to understand more. So always with a lecture notes, write the notes which are explained, and mostly when the slides I have precisely given you the points, why it will be easy for you to memorize it. So afterwards the explanation, you read it. In the coming part, I will teach you the law of demand. When I teach you the law of demand, you must just go through these determinants, you must know. So okay students, I hope that you understood, and we will be meeting with another part very soon. Okay, thank you.